All right. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? I think you can hear me. If you're wondering, how are you doing? If you're wondering why I'm wearing a headset today, my regular microphone has died, unfortunately, so you'll have to put up with this going on. I hope it's not too much of a distraction for you. But I'm glad you're here. We're finally here. We are live and we're not rehearsing right now. Now, why would I say we're not rehearsing right now? No reason in particular. We don't need to talk about it ever again. Ever again. Thank you all for being here. I see a lot of people. That Asian duck. Quack quack to you, sir. Losers become winners. Good to see you. Best boy Sakamoto, Maruya, Karmic Virtue, Melody. Great to see you all. We've got some cool things to talk about today. We've got the upcoming update about which we're going to talk about, and then we're going to do our third and final round of Dream Team. Now, in this third and final round, each round is worth 2 points. That means that Baki still has a chance, even with 0 points to his name, to make a miracle comeback. Will he? That's up to you to decide. But until then, before we get to that, let's get to the news, the important news, the reason you're all here. And that is 2.13.5 is releasing September 9th. That's right. September 9 is when we're going to see the next update. Get excited. Before we talk about that, let's just do a quick review of what is the Wanderer and the Vortex and what is the Apocrypha, because that's what we're going to talk about today is the Apocrypha. Now, the first Apocrypha release that we discussed the last time I streamed with you all is a little bit different than episodes in Mythos in that each story is concluded in a single episode. You choose your starting point from among chapters 1 to 3. You see familiar characters from the past in action, and it is a time loop story. It's about escaping from days that endlessly repeat. So, without further ado, I'm going to stop talking for just a little bit. I'm going to show you a little video for version 2.13.5, Wanderer in the Vortex, Fatum Argentauri.
Swirling intruders infiltrate the plane of time. Their tentacles, in lockstep, turn like twisted cogs, and those who reside within are doomed to relive a history repeating. A world closed now fights for a future that never came. And I fight for a lost past I must reclaim.
How about it? What do you think? Saw a lot of people excited about a new character that we're going to meet with in a little bit more detail very, very soon. Saw a lot of comments about the music as well. Just can't go wrong. It's always everything's a hit when it comes to the music of this game. Let me give you a synopsis of Fatum Argentauri. Dramatic voice. Hold on. Let me get into character. This is what rehearsal is for. I don't know why I keep talking about rehearsal today. It's weird. In ancient times, the reign of King Parsifal. In this world overflowing with magic, there exists an art known as alchemy. Its practitioners study day and night to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Yet they do not yet know the seed of calamity growing within. Calamity which only one brave young woman can stop. And scene. We have a little comment from scenario writer and director Yuichiro Honda, who says about this upcoming chapter, the focus has finally turned to alchemy. I paid particular attention to the position of alchemy in the world of Another Eden and how to utilize that setting in the scenario. If the essence of alchemy is, quote, an effort to bring the imperfect closer to the perfect, end quote, then surely it is not limited to visible matter. That said, I would like everyone to see with their own eyes what kind of stories the characters will transmute on this new stage. Alright, so I think this is the part of the stream that a lot of you want to get to most. If I were to take up any more of your time, I can imagine that being frustrating for people. I'm sorry. Where were we? Right. Character introduction. We have a new character, and you have been chanting her name in the chat. With silvered pride, the young alchemist dreams of gold. Alma, voiced by Grace Hogg Robinson. Alma is a young alchemist. The gun-like weapon she holds is actually an alchemical tool. A proven talent and a rising star of the Alchemists Guild, and already a holder of the prestigious Argentum rank. She can be sharp with her words, but she never means to hurt people. She deeply respects the guild's chief alchemist. Didn't rehearse this one. Paracelsus, who raised her and taught her alchemy. What do you think? Thoughts? What do you think of the art? I see a lot of Alma here. Just people yelling Alma. Parcellus. Parcellus? Is that thank you for that. Well, an image is great. This art is beautiful, and it's very interesting to look at. But what might be a little bit more interesting is another video. So let me show you another video to further introduce Alma.
Watch this. I'll show you real alchemy. Leave it to me to find their weakness. There. How's that? Transmute. Sublimate. See? Just as good as magic. Another Eden. The cat beyond time and space. Wanderer in the Vortex, Fatum Argentauri.
What do you think? We're going to go take a look and read a little bit more about some of the special skills and attacks that you just saw. So first of all, she can deploy the new zone, Crystalline Stance, which boosts Crystal type with a Valor Chant. Brain Record stacks Scope on foes and changes her attack type to her enemy's weak point. And when not in another force, she can see the stats of a single enemy. Then we have Crystal Fragger. Deals Crystal type piercing attack twice, XL, to all enemies, and its strength is doubled against weak points. It is also 10 times stronger against enemies with Scope, so 20 times stronger in combination with Brain Record. And then Ether Alchemia. Deals Crystal type power dependent magic attack to a single enemy, XL, and inflicts poison for 3 turns. And Barrier Pierce. Strength is increased by 15 times if she is in trance with Lunatic Plus. Lunatic Plus can be activated again with Elixir Ray. In addition, it recovers 50% of hit points and magic points. So she can do... She is great for marathons. If you're in it for a long haul, she can keep going. She's got a lot of endurance. Now, for everybody's favorite segment, Backy's Battle Tips. Backy has some battle tips for how you can best utilize Alma in your fights. First, Alma's character performance. Currently, the only user of a unique new zone, Crystalline Stance. She is a transformative attacker who can always hit the enemy's weak point if it has one. She has a skill that allows her to change her attack type to the enemy's weak point. Her piercing type skills, as well as her power-dependent magic attack skills, all have high firepower, making her a very versatile player. She is an attacker who can boost herself explosively by using Crystalline Stance, Lunatic Plus, Trance, and Scope, etc. So all that stuff adds up and contributes to the party with a very high damage output. Number 2. Alma's performance as an attacker. So choose from activating Lunatic Plus, or stacking Scope, or deploying Crystalline Stance as a reserve party member, etc. On the first turn, depending on the situation. So Lunatic Plus will put her in a trance and grants her Mind's Eye at the end of the turn. When in trance, power and intelligence and speed are increased by 50, and physical and magic attacks deal guaranteed criticals. If you attack with Ether Alchemia, use it when in trance. And if you attack with Crystal Fragger, stack Scope and attack the weak point. With me so far? I'll pause here in case you want to, save these strategies for later. I'll give you a nice screenshot where you can pause. Hold on. There you go. Feel free to after the stream is over, go back, pause that, take a screenshot, and you'll have that strategy there for you. Use Lunatic Plus to be in trance, or use Brain Record to stack Scope for the first move, depending on the enemy. Not done. Third battle tip: party formation. Very important. I recommend a party formation, I being Backy, a party formation with crystal piercing type characters to boost Alma, but you can also attack widely without limiting types. A couple characters that would work well with Alma: Red-clad Flamemancer, buff, debuff, and crystal type attack. Jet Tactician Shion, can switch with weak points and resistances. Violet Lancer, shadow and piercing type attacker, which is same as Alma. Eva, because of course Eva, Crystal type buff and Crystal type attack, and Eva AS boosts attackers' stats significantly. The best thing about Crystal type is that it's versatile. So what do you think? That's Alma, coming very, very soon. Thoughts about Alma? I gotta say, I'm very excited about Alma. I just started actually a new TTRPG with a few friends of mine this past week, and I've been making my character for a while now, and my character is actually an alchemist tinkerer. So I'm really getting into the alchemist tinkerer type, and it's cool to see character in Another Eden come out with that kind of skill set. Well, this isn't the only. This is not the only character we have to show you today. We have another character to show you today. Not a new character, but a new style for a new character. It is another style, Lele, voiced by Katie Lyons. A.S. Lele, a lively young witch who never sits still, the granddaughter of a great mage. It's clear to see that this apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. However, she still hasn't seen much of the world, so her grandfather sent her out to learn more about it. We can take a look at, you can see a comparison here between her normal style and her another style. It's really like a lot of the similar kinds of garments, but a drastic color switch, almost an inverse of what she had before. So, Lele is a genuine magic attacker. Her skill, Time to Try, restores 100% of her own hit points and magic points when transforming into miracle form. And after the transformation, she consumes 10% per move, but her intelligence and spirit are increased by 250, and her skill strength is increased by 1.5 times. She can transform multiple times. A Stream Glare, this is not me glaring into the camera on a stream. This is a skill of hers. Stream Glare consumes 10% of current magic points and deals water magic attack XL to all enemies. The more MP it consumes, the higher strength it has. When in miracle form, strength is increased by ignoring defense plus guaranteed critical. If you combine it with miracle form to create a cycle of attack and restore, you can continuously output high damage that's a match for tough foes. So you can see how this complements Alma very well. These high endurance units. Tribute has twice the strength of an ally's previous magic attack and changes to the same type. So when combined with a high magic attack character, I should probably not put my hand between my mouth and my microphone, such as Alma, she can deal non-water type magic attack with twice the strength. Baki, help us out. You're our only hope. Here are some Baki's battle tips for Lele's another style. To take advantage of Tribute, bring a magic attacker so that you can attack with them and Lele together. The magic attacker should preferably be a character with high single-shot firepower. Since she has ways to boost her stats and skills by herself, and since Tribute can change its type, Lele makes a powerful follow-up attacker without being limited to water. If you want to take advantage of Stream Glare, equipment and grostas that increase max magic points rather than intelligence are also effective. It achieves its true power at MP values of 1,000 or above. Thanks, Baki. One more. Her true potential comes when she enters miracle form. Consider a party formation that can cover for her weaknesses in that form, or one that further boosts Lele herself. For example, Radius AS can easily follow up with Chivalry if Zone is deployed. She can also heal her allies. Rosetta and Mariel, whose personalities are Cat Lover and Staff equipped, go well with her for Grosta purposes. And Flam Lepus and Alma have high magic attacks, so they also go well with AS Lele. How are we doing so far? How are we doing in chat? My shirt matches the cat. Scott gonna hit us with a Stream Glare? Hold on. stream glare. There you go. Was that rehearsed? Who's to say? Did we do that in rehearsal? I don't know. Why do I keep talking about rehearsal like it's some kind of inside joke? I don't know that either. Let's talk about some key points of the story. So, alchemy in another Eden. The Fatum Argentauri takes place in the Tower Argentauri, a guild that explores alchemy, which has only been mentioned in some character quests and episodes. In ancient times, magic and alchemy were in conflict with each other. The main characters, Alma, is an alchemist, and Lele is a wizard. So you can see that they're setting up a little bit of tension here. Keep an eye on the relationship between these two. And I just mentioned that this takes place in the Tower Argentauri. Why don't we take a little look at the Tower Argentauri? That looks to me like a tower where you'd find a lot of alchemical thingamajiggers. Some other cool stuff, story element, alchemy. In the Tower Argentauri, the story progresses through the use of alchemy. You can transmute, there's that word again, various alchemic items to conquer the dungeon, and unexpected items related to alchemy may come into play. So obviously these screenshots are from the Japanese build in development. Your versions may vary. If you want to play, just got to remember to clear main story chapter 22. And that's it. You don't have to clear the last chapter that was released. Because as we said before, these Wanderer in the Vortex chapters can be done, at least 1 through 3, can be done in any order. So if you haven't done the first one, don't worry. You can do this one right away. Would it be weird if I showed you another video at this point? I've shown you a lot of videos at this point. Why don't we see another video? Here's we showed you the opening video for Fatum Argentauri. Let's see one with a little bit more gameplay.
With alchemy, there's nothing you can't make. It's magical, but in a different kind of way. I'm going to be one of the greats someday. Just like Master Paracelsus. Or, at least, that was the plan. Wanderer in the Vortex. Fatum Argentauri. If you can't make it alone, we'll make it together.
Very brief, because obviously we don't want to give too many spoilers away from the actual story, but I hope you're excited for this new story. I definitely am. Let's recap. September 9th, in the update, there will be the Apocrypha chapter, Wanderer in the Vortex, Fatum Argentauri. New characters, Alma, and another style Lele. We'll have some encounters for Ally Encounter Alma through October 9th, 2:59 p.m. UTC, and then a 2x max Fateful Encounter until October 9th. Please note that another style Lele is scheduled for the next update after the September 9 update. So in the September 9 update, we'll be getting the new character Alma, and then another style Lele will be coming in the next update after that. And we'll have a sale on Chrono Stones, 2,000 and 4,000 stones, one time each until September 21st. So take advantage of that. How do we feel? That does it. That does it for the news. Headset went out there. That does it for the news, but not for the stream. We've got one more segment for you. It is time for the third and final round of Dream Team. Now, if you have been following along, you already know the rules, but just in case you don't, here is, or in case you've forgotten, here's a little bit of a refresher. Our contestants have submitted parties of 4 different themes, which I have given them. You vote on the best party that matches the theme, or just the one you like the most. I mean, I don't control you. It's your choice. Submissions are anonymous and have been collected in advance. The identity of the contestants behind each submission will be revealed after voting is complete. And the contestants who submit the winning party in this final championship round will get 2 points each time. And whoever has the most votes at the end will win. So once again, I think you know our contestants, but just in case you need a refresher, or in case this is your first time seeing Dream Team, we've got Baki of Baki Battle Tips fame, member of the global version dev team and MC of the Japanese community. Livestream, born and raised in Japan, never left the country. Has been with Right Flyer Studios for 1.5 years and enjoys karaoke, manga, and darts. Baki, I kind of feeling like this is a little bit of a one-way conversation here, but just want to throw it out there, you know, just in case you're watching, I know you are, that the invitation for karaoke still stands. I await your response. Next, we have Koike, producer of the global version from Chiba, Japan, lived in New York from ages 3 to 7, and he's been with Right Flyer Studios for 3.5 years. He enjoys gaming, traveling, and making plastic models in garage kits. And then we have Justin, localization manager from Memphis, Tennessee. Been with Right Flyer Studios for 3 years, and sometimes eats popcorn for breakfast. I asked people what they wanted you all to know about them, and that is the detail that I got from Justin. Just to give a little bit of a reminder of where we currently stand at this point, we have Baki with 0, unable to get a point thus far. Koike with 3, Justin with 5. Now, there's 4 rounds today, and every round is worth 2 points. So there is a scenario where, for example, Baki could win 3 rounds, Koike wins 1, and Baki still wins. It's a bit of a stretch. It would be quite a miracle for him to do that, but who knows? It's anybody's game. Justin has a comfortable lead right now. Wouldn't take much to put him over the top, and Koike has a bit of more of a challenge to take the lead. Not quite as much of a challenge as Baki though. Can he make a? Has anybody already made this joke? Let's see. Can he make a comebacky? Stream glare. Okay, so here we go. So in this first round, this is similar to in previous rounds when we asked them to create movies that were like romantic comedies. This one we asked them to make a detective novel. Give the cast of characters for a detective novel. So here are our cast of characters. We've got some roles and we've got some titles of these books. First, the first book is called The Cats of Yunagan. Get it? Any Sherlock fans might recognize that. The Cats of Yunagan, the main suspect in the case, has an alibi, which means the true culprit must be using some kind of trick. Detective Rovella, who leads the police, mutters under his breath, I guess we have no choice. We need his help this time. Our cast, Zilva in the role of the detective with a sidekick, Suzette. Then we have the police detective, Rovella, and Clark playing the nemesis. Then we have Morgana and Toad. That's the name there. Morgana and Toad, the lost and found lily pad. Morgana and Cyrus were just about to hang up their caps and lock the doors to the 10 Lives Detective Agency for good, when a familiar froggy face barges in.
Governor, someone's stolen my mum's lily pad, and we don't know why. You've got to help us.
Cyrus looks to Morgana for help, but Morgana quickly reminds him he doesn't do marsh cases. Knowing he might have to do this last case alone, Cyrus turns to the young tadpole and asks, "If that's the case, then whose lily pad is it that you have there?" She responds,
Well, it's me mum's, Governor. It was me who stole it, you see.
"If the thief herself doesn't know who stole it, who does? Is it a case of missing memories, or are there more Machiavellian machinations at work? Could it be related to our hero's imminent retirement?" Find out the answers to those questions and more as our heroes go chasing for clues from the man-eating marshes to the chambers of King Miglance himself in this final riveting chapter of the Morgana and Toad series. Do I have a script? No, I'm making this entirely off the top of my head as I look down at the bottom of my computer screen. No, I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. Yes, I do have a script. Number 3, The Tragedy of the Missing Manju. Lingley's specialty mocha-shaped steam buns, which she's made especially for Lele, were eaten by someone while Lingley was resting. That's the full. We have a little bit more story morsels. Get it? Morsels, Manju. In our cast breakdown, we have our first alleged victim, Lingley, and our second alleged victim, Lele. Suspect number 1, Pry, the first person to report the missing Manju, and the most suspicious. Suspect number 3, Nagi, who similarly, we skipped over suspect number 2, Tsubame, who probably has nothing to do with it, but was nearby when it happened. And suspect number 3, Nagi, who similarly is probably unrelated, but was nearby when the event took place. And suspect number 4, Flamlepis, who again, probably unrelated, but was nearby for no reason. Alright, so those are our choices. Let's start the poll here. Detective novel 1, 2, and 3. The poll is live, folks. Let's see how we do. Oh, looks like number 3 for right now. 3 is our top choice at this moment at 47%. Let me open this up. What is it all? What are we all at? Number 3 has got quite a bit of a lead here. We've got 26% for number 1, 29% for 27% now for number 1. 29% for number 2, 44% for number 3. So once again, number 1, let's see. Number 1 is the Cats of Unigan. Number 2 is Morgana and Toad, the Lost and Found Lily Pad. And number 3 is the Tragedy of the Missing Manju. We will close the voting when it hits 2 minutes. It says it's been live for 1 minute as of right now. With 85 votes tallied, it looks like number 3 is going to take this. So people who voted for number 3, why? What are your reasonings? We got 1, Lele and Pry equals funny story. Someone else said anything with Lele is going to be interesting. Some people are trying to metagame here, thinking they could just pick who they think has has written these? Chaos. All right, 2 minutes have passed. 90 votes. The votes are in. We're gonna end that poll. There we go. So with 91 votes tallied, number 3 has 40% of the votes. Pretty decisive win for number 3. And number 3 is Koike. So what does that mean? Koike had, I believe, 3. I'm just gonna, let's see. Koike had 3. That was worth 2 points. Koike now has 5, and Justin has 5. But you're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. Baki's still in it. Even after losing this first round, he's still in the game. He just has to sweep the rest of the the rest of the rounds. Remember, all of these rounds are worth 2 points now, so it's tied up. Koike and Justin at 5 apiece. Now our next round is influencers. Contestants were asked to tell us who they think would either make for very successful social media influencers or would have interesting channels. Some people went a route of choosing all different people who would all be successful in their own rights. Some people thought about a team of people who would contribute to one channel. These are the social media influencers of the Another Eden world, and here we go. So, in the number 1 spot, we have the these are all descriptions given to me by the contestants. We have a group of girl influencers who are all about sweets, fashion, and sometimes love. In the number 2 spot, we have a cooking channel run by Fine that features a hungry cast of food critics. And finally, last but not least, in the number 3 spot, we have a few different things going on here. We've got Tiramisu and Pizzica, who are all about sweets all the time. Starkey, who may not have a very interesting Twitter, but your parents share all sorts of Starkey memes on Facebook, and you know this is true. May runs a YouTube channel where she makes historic weapons, and Victor and Suzette are the king and queen of low-effort memery. So, let's run the poll. Influencers. 1, 2, 3. All right, the poll is now live, and once the poll has hit the 2-minute mark, we will close it. So far, looks like 1 and 2 are neck and neck. 2 just barely taking a lead. Absolute Chrono, just to clarify, Baki is not out of this. He could, if he wins the next 3 rounds in a row, he could come back. It's not impossible. I'm trying to look at the little preview of the next slide to try to remember who submitted what and who's currently in the lead. But it's still anybody's game. That's the point here. And speaking of it being anybody's game, it's pretty close between 1 and 2 at 33 and 39%. 2 is starting to pull away with the Fine cooking channel. We've got 93 votes in so far. Once it's hit the 2-minute mark, once I see that it's hit the 2-minute mark, we're going to move on and tally the point. Once again, Backy has to win. Oh, number 1 just pulled ahead with 40% of the vote now. Interesting, interesting. We haven't had a neck and neck like this and a comeback for one of these in a long time. 100 votes at 2 minutes. I'm gonna send this, because this is so close, I'm gonna send this one to overtime. I'm gonna go to 3 minutes. You guys make your cases in the chat why people should vote for your choice. Right now, number 1 is starting to take a commanding lead with 41% of the vote. Number 2 with 35%. Number 3 with 24%. We're in overtime now. Not getting a lot more votes though. If we get oh, okay, here they come. 107. We're at 40 and 36. It's still anybody's. Oh no, one is pulling away. Let's see. Let's read some of the arguments for each one. 2 army gather and vote. What are your reasons? Your reasons for choosing? Let's see. Vote Chrono Cross, Fine. This is rigged. How dare you? Quantity over quality. Losers. Tiramisu, enough said. All right. We've just had about 5 votes in the last minute, so I think that's going to wrap it up in 5. Closing in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. With 40% of the vote, but in a much closer competition this time, number 1 takes it. Who was number 1? Number 1 was Koike-san. You know, you almost had it, Backy. You almost had it. You were leading. You were leading for that round, for most of that round. And then the chat just decided to up and turn against you. And take it away from you. And that is exactly what happened today. So with that, Backy is, unfortunately, I am sorry to say, eliminated from contention for the championship of Dream Team 2022. And not only that, but Koike has now overtaken Justin for the lead. Oh, this is great to see. To remind everybody of the scores here now, with that, these are all worth 2 points. So Koike now has 7, and Backy has 0. Justin has 5. Now, can Backy get a single point here, or 2 points now because it's a championship round, or will he go the entire 3 rounds without one? We've got 2 more rounds to find that out. A little bit in the same, not vein, but arena as influencers, we have pop idols. These are music groups now for that people are putting together. You're gonna pick your people were asked to put together a band or a pop idol group, and here they are. Take a quick scan of them now. While you're doing that, I'll introduce you to the bands. In the number 1 spot is the Cat Street Boys. That's right. Cat Street's back. All right. Simply a selection for an all-male group that was inspired, says the contributor. Number 2, we have Ciel on Ciel. This one, gotta say, the contestant took a little bit of liberty with a photo editing software in order to make this happen. You can't do this in the game, obviously. But there's your number 2. And number 3, the group name is Space Time Trader. Now, number 3 is actually the only one that is a band with instruments. So to tell you everybody's role here, Nona is on the vocals, Claude is on the guitar, Melina on bass, and Ewan on drums. Okay, now, putting up the poll. 1, 2, or 3. All right, and the poll is now live. While you're voting, make sure you put your reason in chat. Give your best argument for why other people should vote for your choice. And I'll read some of them. You know, you all keep guessing who is who is which one. Let's see. Number 1, because it has Garambarel. A lot of people think that Baki is number 3. Let's see. Justice for Husbandos. Go for number 1. Ciel is OP. Vote number 2 because Ciel is best boy. For the meme. Didn't realize that Har Daddy was in number 1. Would have picked that. I've not heard that nickname. Speaking of, number 2 is in the lead with a pretty convincing lead at this point. 109 votes are in. Not long now. We're gonna close this one up at the 2-minute mark because we've already got 112 votes in, and number 2 has a pretty solid lead. Dance, Scott, dance. I don't dance, except for silly comedy videos. All right, there we go. 2 minutes have passed. Let's end the poll. 2 minutes have passed, and number 2 is exactly what you have chosen there, Ciel on Ciel. And let us figure out who is behind Ciel on Ciel. That's right, some of you guessed correctly. Justin is the manager of that band. Now, this makes things a little bit interesting. We've got both Koike and Justin tied at 7 points apiece, with Baki at 0, going into the 4th and final round of this game. Now, but if somebody between Justin and Koike win, they are going to become the champion of Dream Team 2022. Although if Baki is able to win for the first time in 12 complete rounds, he will spoil my game and will end up in a tie, and then I won't be able to show my last slide with a winner being announced, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, quite honestly. So here we go. Number 4, round number 4 is Camping Trip. This is a group where you would like to, you think would be best to go on a camping trip with, either because they're very useful to you or you think they'd be entertaining. It's just, if you're going on a camping trip over the weekend, who do you want to go with? All right? And here we are. Here are our choices. We've got Aldo, Cress, Serge, and Victor, who are all adventurers. So camping is definitely something that they can handle. If the knowledgeable Curio is included, it will be like having the power of 100 people. It might be more comfortable than living normally. You can hear stories of various adventures every night. Number 2, honestly, was just going to put Loquito here because it's Loquito, but then realized you need a guy to be the first to say, "Hey, did you hear that?" And the obvious answer was Aldo. And number 3, the person said, "This was just what happened when I followed my heart." So, let's put it to a poll. Camping trip 1, 2, or 3. Our final poll for Dream Team is now live. If we are within 5% when the 2-minute mark has passed, we will send it to overtime or extra time, depending on what your sport is of choice is. Oh, wow. We've got 3 really took off here. 73% for number 3. Can I hold on? What is? I want to know from you all. Why number 3? Why are we so in on 3? A lot of fans of the Baruoki kids. Team Baruoki, Memories, Baruoki Gang, Twiggy. Childhood people. Well, a lot of people love the Baruoki Gang. I gotta say, this is a bit of a surprise. I thought it would be closer here. Like I said, if we're within 5%, we'll go to overtime. Doesn't look like we're going to be anywhere near 5% here. So we've got still one caught up just a tick with 17%. I think we have a lot of Victor fans in the house, but I don't think anything is touching with 110 votes in at this point. I don't think anything is going to touch 3. There we go. 2 minutes have passed, and it's a landslide here. I'm going to end the poll. Poll complete with 116 votes. Number 3 is the winner with 69% of the votes. Now, I'll remind you before I reveal the winner here that Koike and Justin are currently tied with 7 points each. And then we've got Baki, who could play spoiler, mostly for me, if we're honest, to this whole thing if he wins this round. If you've got a drum in front of you, give me a drum roll, please. Let's see who wins round 4. It is with a deciding victory, Koike-san. Koike wins Dream Team 2020. Oh, yes! Yes! we had a winner. It didn't end in a tie. Will, I hope you guys enjoyed Dream Team. And it might be something that we bring back perhaps sometime next year. Perhaps we'll do a Dream Team 2023. But for now, congratulations to the producer of the global version of Another Eden, The Cat Beyond Time and Space, Koike-san, for winning Dream Team 2022. Then we've got runner-up Justin, and in third place, with 0 points after 12 rounds, Becky. That is a statistical marvel, if I'm going to be honest. How I never expected even that he'd get nothing. But Becky, again, if we go to karaoke, I will give you some tips on how to connect with the audience. That's it. Thank you all so much. We'll probably do something. We can do some other kind of competition, or have some other interactive element. We're thinking about some other fun things that we can do for our Another Eden Live programming. So even though we're not going to be doing Dream Team next time, that doesn't mean we're not going to be doing other fun things. We're going to be thinking about what we can do. If you have any thing that you'd like to see us do, please let us know in the chat. If there's any kind of programming you'd like to see during Another Eden Live, of course, aside from the news, which we bring to you each and every time, let us know what you wanna see. What do we have here? 0 points. Scott is bribing. I'm not bribing anybody. All I'm saying is, let's hang out. Becky versus Scott for the next one. See, that would be unfair for me to participate in the Dream Team, because I know which one is my submission, and I'm thinking I'm the one that's coming up with all the themes. Summertime event. Maybe the real win was the Becky we found along the way. Do we do Dream Team at the Japanese live shows? No, I don't. They do not do that on the Japanese live shows. Maybe they will in the future. We'll see. Well, that's going to do it for us with this episode of Another Eden Live. Now, before I go, just a real quick note. Some of you, a very small group of you, did catch me during our rehearsal earlier today, because I apparently forgot how stream keys work, and so we broadcast live, and some of you got notifications for what was supposed to be this stream, and was actually a rehearsal to test all the sound and everything. Apologies to everybody for changing up the link, and some of you had submitted regret that you missed this blunder of mine, that you missed this incredibly humiliating and anxiety-inducing event. To you all, I would say, subscribe and click the bell notification, because if you do, you'll be notified right away if I mess up like this again. So if you want to have a chance at seeing one of those again, please subscribe, like our videos, click on the bell notification. You will be notified of all of our Another Eden videos. That said, thank you all once again so much for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. You guys are always super positive. Thank you everybody in the chat for playing Another Eden and for hanging out with me. And I look forward to the next Another Eden Live. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.